Welcome. Week 11, Dunkman, blue collar DFS. Last week we were wanting to bounce back. We had a rough one a couple weeks ago, and we bounced back last week. We had a lot of people make some money. It feels good when you guys hit me up and be like, hey, Dunkman, you made me some cash. I appreciate you. Now let's move on to the next week, and that's what we're going to do. We're here at week 11. We're going to dive on in there. Our over-unders this week. We have the Ravens at -4.5 versus the Texans at a 51.5 over-under. That's the highest one on the day. We have Saints, Bucks. Saints are -5, 50-point over-under. That's right there, second highest. We have the Falcons and the Panthers. Panthers are -4.5, 49-point over-under. And we got the Bengals and the Raiders. The Raiders are -11.5. That's a 48.5 over-under. Those four are right there at the top. That's the four that we're kind of looking at. Some other stuff kind of sprinkled in that we'll get into, but no further details on that stuff. So just like I said, those four at the top, that's the four that we're kind of looking at. As we look at the quarterback position, you have the main man, the fantasy just killer, Lamar Jackson at 7,700 there at the top. He is ridiculous. It's like having a quarterback and running back at the same time. If you can get to his price, you have to throw him in. I mean, he's in the highest over-under even this week against the Texans. So it's going to be a hell of a play. Drew Brees at 6,900. He's in that Bucks game. That's usually a lot of points scored between them two. At 6,900, that's another play. You got Deshaun Watson at 6,800. Going there against Jackson, they're kind of buddies. I look for them two to kind of just go back and forth. It's going to be a lot of highlights from the quarterback position in that game, I think, with that high over under. Matt Ryan at 6,200. It's the 49-point over under against the Panthers. They got the Panthers favored at -4.5. Ryan's, he's a 300-yard, a touchdown or two a game. You know what you're going to get at that floor. So, it's always an option at 6,200. And the guy that I kind of like, and I might play in some stuff, because I'm not going to be able to get to Jackson, I don't think, this week, because he just keeps going up in price. Kyle Allen is 5,300. He's in that against the Falcons. The Falcons are looking rough. And to get a quarterback at 5,300, his floor don't have to be too high to get value in these 50-50, plays. So at 5,300, playing him lets you get the other people that you want to get in, them receivers and them running backs, them high level guys, and also lets you have, production at the quarterback position. Because I look for him to have a day. 20 plus points, I think is a given for him coming up. So I like Kyle Allen a lot at 5,300. At the running back position, at the top, and always at the top, feels like you have to fucking play him. Christian McCaffrey at 10,500, which is also another reason I liked Kyle Allen, because McCaffrey's coming in all these lineups. There's three running backs there at the top. Like I said, McCaffrey at 10,500. Zeke is 9,000, and Cook is 8,900. So, you're going to play one of those three, and I'm stuffing McCaffrey, like always. He's almost in these 50-50s. You have to have him in. Below that, you have Alvin Kamara at 7,400. That's a low price for him. And if he comes out healthy and he starts getting some looks, he could blow up. That could be a hell of a play at 7,400. Below that is Josh Jacobs at 6,900. He's in all my stuff. I'll just make it simple. In that 48.5 over-under, the Raiders are favored by 11.5 at home against Cincinnati. Josh Jacobs is going to feast. Feast. If there wasn't this other guy I'm about ready to tell you here in a little bit, he would be my lock of the week, but he's not. Josh Jacobs is in every freaking lineup I have, though, so at 6,900, that's a great play. Mark Ingram is 6,600. It's also an option down there at that price range, but I'm going to try to get $300 and move up to Jacobs from him, so that's where I'm at. If you go about 1,000 less, Ronald Jones, I know I talked about him last week. I loved him, and he produced. You look for him to continue, and at 5,200, he's going to be pretty cheap. Somebody you can get in. And the last but not least is Brian Hill, the Atlanta running back. He's looking to be the bell cow with everybody else injured, and he's only 4,800. He's in absolutely everything. I think he's going to get played in everything around the. I mean, anybody that makes a lineup is. I think this guy's going to be owned in a ton in a bunch of stuff. 4,800. He is my lock of the week, and not only my lock of the week, we have the first ever lock and broke ass of the week combination. He's both at 4,800. Brian Hill, the Atlanta running back. Look for him to have a day and surpass any sort of value that he's could possibly get at 4,800. That's just an absolute steal for the productivity that he's going to get. So Brian Hill is stuffed in everything. Wide receivers, Michael Thomas, always 9,900. He's going to be at the top. That's a lot for him, though. That's a lot. If you can get him in, I mean, he's getting 15 targets a week. I mean, he's Drew Brees' bell cow. He's a stud. And in the game that they got, against the Bucs, that conference game, there's always a lot of points scored, 50 point over under. Michael Thomas is probably going to have himself a day, and there's no getting around it. Hopkins at 8,100, and also in that Ravens, the highest over under on the day, he's going to be in play. You can kind of go to the Atlanta guys. Julio at 7,500, Ridley at 5,500, and Russell Gage at 3,300. With Hooper being out now, I could kind of see maybe the three receivers set with Sanu not being there anymore. So, I mean, if you need a cheap option at receiver, Russell Gage at 3,300 is about as cheap as you can get. And, he has the opportunity to maybe get 5-6 targets and turn it into 50 yards and a touch. I mean, you never know. I'm looking to spend up with these running backs and stuff. So I'm always looking for cheap options at other places. So, that's going to be a play for you guys. Then you have your Bucs receivers, like always. They're always in these high over-unders. With Evans at 74, Godwin at 73. The dunk coin flip every week. One of them goes off. Curtis Samuel at 5,300 for the Panthers is also another play, getting a ton of looks. Couple guys that I like a lot there at the middle are the Cincinnati receivers. You have Tyler Boyd at 5,200 and Auden Tate at 4,200. You can save some money there. They're going against the Raiders. They're 11.5 point underdogs, so that means they're going to have to throw the rock a little bit. I know they don't have anybody to really throw the rock that much, but you get enough targets, eventually something's going to happen, I would hope. So at a 48.5 over under, they think some points are coming from somewhere. And I like the opportunity there for Boyd and Auden Tate, especially at those prices for Cincinnati. And last but not least, Deebo Samuel for the 49ers at 4,000. I'm playing him in everything. He's in everything. They have no Kittle. Emmanuel Sanders, his ribs look like, he's going to try to give it a go, but we all know that, especially at a wide receiver position, the ribs being sore that's a big thing because you're taking a lot of hits at the wide receiver position, and especially catches like this, hitting the ribs, he could easily get bounced from that game pretty quick. And Deebo Samuel was getting tons of targets this last week, and at 4,000, that lets me get McCaffrey in my lineup. So Deebo Samuel for the 49ers, wide receiver position. That's a sneaky play. I like it a lot. Going to the tight end position, there's three guys. I always give you a top, middle, and bottom. Kind of give you a top and a bottom this week. But Waller, they're in Oakland, tight end, 5,500. If you're going to spend up, that's the guy that you want. Look no farther. Bam. Plug him in. If you want to go down a little bit, Ebron, 3,600. Yes, I know he gets drops. Yes, I know what's going on. But with T.Y. Hilton out, and just how the Colts offense is trying to run now without T.Y. Hilton, Ebron's going to continue to get targets, and it's almost like you're playing a wide receiver the way he lines up at the tight end position. So I like Ebron, and then Ross Dwelly at 3,400. That's the backup for Kittle pretty much there in San Francisco. So he could step in and get some looks. But Ebron and Waller are my guys, but Waller, I love him this week. That's my favorite play at tight end. Defense, I got one name. The Vikings at 3,400. They're in everything I have. They got Denver at home. They're big favorites. I love the Vikings. I like Cook to go with them because I always say I like to do a defense with a running back, but I can't have Cook and McCaffrey both. So it's McCaffrey outweighs Cook to me just because on DraftKings, the PPR format, I mean, I cannot not play Christian McCaffrey. So there you go, man. That's this week. You guys, I hope you have some luck this week. Hope we get some money. We're going to take it down. And don't forget, Sunday's Highly Inappropriate Podcast. Ring the bell here on the YouTube channel. We're at Sundays at 7 o'clock. You can subscribe, rate, review on Apple Podcast and iHeartRadio. So come check us out. Let's go get that money. Don't forget to ring the bell. Hit me up if you got any questions, any lineups you want me to take a look at. Maybe I can tweak them for you, help you out a little bit, give you my advice. I mean, we're winning money here. We've had 1 week where we kind of didn't get nothing done, but other than that, we are consistently taking down these 50-50s and these blue-collar tournaments, and that's what we're all about. So hit me up at Dunkman42 on Twitter. Let me know what you think. Hit me up. Let's talk about it. Let's get these lineups. Let's get this money. Let's take them down. Have a good one.